Check out my discussion of the first James Bond film, Doctor No, in the description box below. I've started this playlist, random film discussions, where I'll be discussing the specific films I'm going to be watching for the first time going forward. I kind of like it at the moment, so we'll see how long it lasts. Anyway, I thought I'd bring out my politically incorrect book, Bond Gills Are Forever, which features Ursula Andress um, on the front. Look, got my flip phone. This came in handy as a bookmarker. I barely use it as a mobile phone, but I needed to keep the page open because I want to show you how, like, Ursula Andress is cute and gorgeous and all that, but she really is topped in From Russia with Love. I mean, I don't think I don't think you'll find someone more prettier than Daniela Blanche. She might just be the best looking James Bond girl ever. And woman, sorry, woman. This is 2019. I can't call them Bond girls. Excuse me. I'm in trouble these days. But 1963, she definitely was one of the most beautiful Bond girls. Wow. And the whole film's like that. I've watched this film several times, From Russia with Love, the second James Bond film, the second to star Sean Connery. See Robert Shaw there, he's in it as well. So you've got it. Where to begin? I don't know what to talk about first. It's so good. It follows on from the death of Dr. No. We're into Bond's next mission, and Spectre are looking for revenge for him killing their operative, Dr. No. And it's. I always say it's one of the best, if not the best, James Bond films ever. It's always either number one or very high on my list. And when I re-watch these Bond films, do the marathon, I start watching the Connery ones, every single time I'm like, how on earth can I think Roger Moore is better than Connery when I'm going through the Connery Bond films? Then I get to Moore, I'm like, oh god, Moore's so good as well. But anyway, enough about Moore. Let's focus on Sean Connery because he was fantastic in Doctor No. But here he is better than fantastic. I can't think of a word. He is James Bond in this film. And if I were to get someone into the Bond franchise, I would show them this film. This has everything you would want from a Bond film. So you've got an awesome Sean Connery on his A game. This, I believe, is the film where James Bond became a legend on the big screen. And he could do no wrong following this film. Robert Shaw, whom I mentioned before, is in this film as one of the many great bad guys. Grant, he is, the whole build up and the tension building up to the confrontation between Sean Connery's Bond and Grant on the Orient Express is fantastic. Their fight is classic. I mean, Sean Connery's really friggin' battering him in that train. Like, Sean Connery's taking this shit in this film. Like, he is, like, he even smacks beautiful Tanya, played by Daniela, at one point. And thinking, oh, this is getting uncomfortable. I'm not. He would never see this in today's film, but you can kind of understand where his character's coming from. He's just witnessed his friend Kern Bay, whom was played by an actor by the name of Pedro. His surname escapes me, but he actually Pedro actually passed away before this film was released. So, and he was excellent throughout this film as well. But it was a bit cursed, this film, From Russia with Love. You had Pedro who passed away before filming finished, and then there was also an accident involving the helicopter stunts sequence, which is incredible. But it was a bit cursed, this film. So, you know, You've got this powerful scene where Bond actually hits. Is uncomfortable to today's. We're not used to this moments in Bond films today, but you can kind of understand where the character's coming from. He's just witnessed his colleague die in uncertain circumstances. He wants to get to the bottom of it. He's no idea who's going to come after him next. So, but yeah, it's powerful, and I couldn't imagine like Roger Moore doing this scene. As much as I love Roger Moore, I couldn't imagine him doing some of the stuff in this film. Uh, and then we've got the debut of Q, played. Well, actually, that's a mistake actually on my part. We get Q, Major Boothroyd, as he's known in Doctor No, but that actor doesn't have much to do in the film. It's a very forgettable moment, and I feel like the real Q debuts in this film, played by Desmond Lemon, who would portray Q alongside Sean Connery, George Lazenby, Roger Moore, Timothy Dalton, and Pierce Brosnan, with the exception of Daniel Craig, as Desmond Lemon passed away in 1999. But the Q scenes are typically a lot of even the non-Bond fans look forward to these scenes because they're just so fun. And Bond gets his first gadget in this film, the briefcase that explodes in Grant's face later on. The speedboat chases at the end's amazing. And another great villain by the name of Rosa Klebb. The only nitpick, I'll give this film a 10 out of 10. After rewatching it, it blew me away today at how good it was. But Rosa Klebb, my only nitpick is I wish there was more scenes with her because her character is so good. And there's so many good lines. There's a bit where Rosa Klebb snaps in one scene when Tanya is like, "What's the purpose of such a intimate question?" It's like, "We're not here to ask questions. You forget who is speaking," and it's brilliant. And then there's another one on a train before Grant and Bond get into it, where he thinks Bond is done. He thinks he's got Bond in the palm of his hand, and you are nervous for Bond in this scene. And Sean Connery's like, "And which lunatic asylum did they get you out of?" And then he gets a backhander from Grant. It's just, you've got Sean Connery at his A game, beautiful Bond girl. You've got the debut of the best Q, the only Q, in my opinion. You've got some great action sequences. You've got a classic spy story. And then you've got it backed up with memorable villains. And I think that's where I'm going to wrap it up here. From Russia with Love. I'm going to say it. Sorry, GoldenEye, but From Russia with Love is once again my favourite James Bond film ever. I'm going to end up watching all these films again, but this one's going to be very hard to top. A must watch. If you're unsure of James Bond, watch From Russia with Love from 1963.